Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Wait there a second. So, the game tomorrow night against Everton in the Carabao Cup quarter-final, and the game on Saturday against Leicester in the Premier League are two big tests for Ole Gunnar Solsjaer. Solskjaer has said our players are desperate to learn how to win trophies. Now, we progressed to the quarter-finals of the Carabao Cup by beating Luton in the third round 3-0, and we beat Brighton in the fourth round 3-0. The Carabao Cup is a chance of a trophy for Manchester United. The last time we won it was back in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho era. Now Everton, like I mentioned on the preview, have been in a good vein of form recently. In their last 3 games, they have beaten Arsenal, Leicester and Chelsea. We have beaten Everton once already this season. We're beating them at Goodison Park earlier on in the season by 3-1. 2 goals came from Bruno Fernandes, and Edison Cavani scored the other goal, and that was his first goal for Manchester United. Now, like I said, Everton have got a good manager in Carlo Ancelotti. He's been at Everton now for like a year. He's got a good pedigree behind him. He's won around 15 major honours in his managerial career. And I think when Everton appointed him in, I think he signed, was it a 4 or 4.5 year deal. Carlo Ancelotti has signed a few players since he became Everton manager. He's brought the likes of Decore in, James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez has made an impact at Everton. He's currently out with injury at the moment. Also, they brought Allen in. He's out with injury. They brought Ben Godfrey in. They brought Kudu in. Probably pronounced his name wrong. And I think they got Olsen in on loan. Before Everton had Carlo Ancelotti, don't forget they had Duncan Ferguson in on a temporary basis. Before Duncan Ferguson, they had Marco Silva. They sacked Marco Silva because they was very inconsistent under him. They had Roberto Martinez at one point. I thought Everton were consistent under him. And before, they've had David Moyes. Moyes enjoyed around 11 years with Everton. They've got some good players, though, that we need to be aware of for the game tomorrow. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, now, he's obviously one of their key players. Should be starting for them tomorrow. They've got that Richie Arledson. He's one of their key players. They've got Bernard, one of their key players. Decore, one of their key players. You know, you could probably say Sigurdsson's one of their key players. He's good at shooting from long ranges, Sigurdsson, and when he was a Swansea player, his record against us was absolutely exceptional. Alex Iwobi's also done quite well for Everton. Lucas Digne, he's a very good left back. Digne, sorry, should I say? Yeah, Lucas Digne. He's currently out with injury, so he may not be available for the game tomorrow. Michael Keane, he's another one of their centre-halves, former Man United player. Is Seamus Coleman still there? I'm not too sure. So, yeah. I don't rate Jordan Pickford now, but I thought Jordan Pickford was very, very good in the World Cup in the summer of 2018. Everton have let quite a few players go. You know, they let Idrissa Gueye go, don't forget. I like Idrissa Gueye. I like the way he breaks up the play. He's now at PSG. They let Moise Kean go out on loan. Theo Walcott went out on loan to Southampton. We bought a few players off Everton as well, don't forget. Got Lukaku off them back in 2017. Got Fellaini off them back in 2013. Fellaini was good when he was at Everton, but he was very inconsistent for us. Fellaini endured, 6 years or something like that at Man United. We let him go, to China was it in January 2019. And we got Wayne Rooney off them in 2004. Everton have got Fabian Delph out with injury. I think also Andrea Gomez is out with injury. He sustained quite a few injuries as an Everton player. Now, I give you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference, didn't I, earlier on. He has confirmed that Jesse Lingard and Mason Greenwood will be in the squad. Mason Greenwood didn't play against Leeds. He was on the bench though. He did play in the game though against Sheffield United, did Mason Greenwood. He's explained why Jesse Lingard's been absent a lot. Because he said Jesse Lingard has had to self-isolate a few times because he's been in contact with someone with COVID. He's had, obviously, an injury and, obviously, he's had personal issues as well. The last time Lingard played for us was in the 4th round against Brighton. By the way, I forgot to mention earlier on, Ole has confirmed that Wan-Bissaka is out. Must have sustained an injury. I didn't even know about it just until now. That's a shame, really, because Wan-Bissaka's done well in a lot of games this season where he's got into good positions, he's put good crosses into the box. We've still got us concerns about his lack of attacking intent and his distribution. So we might go with Axel Tuanzebe at right back for this game. Timothy Fosu-Mensah, he's also another option as well. Scott McTominay, Ollie's confirmed he's unavailable for this game. He sustained a groin problem in the 6-2 win against Leeds. McTominay got man of the match against Leeds because he scored twice and he also got an assist, McTominay. Ollie confirmed that Luke Shaw came off with injury against Leeds. That's Luke Shaw injured again. He's only just come back from a hamstring injury not so long ago. But Solskjaer knows how important it is to get that first trophy on the board as Manchester United manager. So this is what was mentioned during the press conference. But I'm hopeful we can get to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. We're coming into this game with a lot of confidence because we're coming into this game on the back of a 6-2 win against Leeds. And that win against Leeds was our biggest win this season in the Premier League. And it was our second win at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. Away from home, we've been absolutely exceptional. We've won our last 10 away games in a row in the Premier League. And when we beat Sheffield United last Thursday, we became the first team to win 6 successive away games after conceding first in a single Premier League season. And we're unbeaten in our last 7. We've won 6 and we've drawn 1. The Leicester games is a big game on Saturday. 12:30 kick-off at the King Power Stadium. Leicester have done well this season. They are now second, is it, in the Premier League? They've got a good manager in Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers has been Leicester manager now for almost 2 years. He's made quite a few signings at Leicester. He's brought the likes of Dennis Pryor in, Youri Tielemans, James Justin, Perez, Fofana. Got a few players in on loan. I think they got that Cengiz Under on loan. Might have pronounced his name wrong. Was it last year Rodgers signed a 5 or was it a 5.5 year deal? But they've been very, very good under Brendan Rodgers' guidance. But there was also very good under Claudio Ranieri's guidance because they won the title under Claudio Ranieri. But in the end, they ended up sacking Ranieri. Leicester, like I said to you, have lost a few good players. They lost Maguire to us. They lost Ben Chilwell to Chelsea during the summer. They lost N'Golo Kante to Chelsea. They lost Danny Drinkwater to Chelsea. They lost Riyad Mahrez to Man City in the summer of 2018. So there. One of Leicester's key players is Jamie Vardy. I think he's recently sustained an injury. But Vardy's done well for himself, coming all the way from non-league football all the way up until the Premier League. And he's obviously Premier League standard now, is Jamie Vardy, isn't he? Ricardo Pereira, now, I think he's also got an injury. Another Leicester player's got an injury as well, I think. Iheanacho, you can say he's one of their key players. Definitely James Maddison's one of their key players. We inquired about getting James Maddison before, didn't we? I've got to say Wilfred Ndidi, he's one of their key players, Leicester's. I think they've still got Fuchs of Leicester. I think Wes Morgan's still there. They've obviously got Johnny Evans. He should be reuniting with Man United at the weekend. We had Johnny Evans for several years at Man United, don't forget. They've got Peter Schmeichel as their goalkeeper. We did do the double over Leicester last season, beating them 2-0 at the King Power. That was the final game of last season in the league. I think that's what secured us Champions League football. And we're beating them at Old Trafford 1-0. So like I said, 2 big games for Ollie. 2 big games for him. After Leicester, Wolves at home. Won't be very easy, but we should be winning that because Wolves haven't been great this season. And then after Wolves, it's Aston Villa on New Year's Day. So games are coming up thick and fast for Man United. Liverpool's coming up very soon. That's, I think, on the 17th of January. So let's see. But yeah, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United is definitely safe until at least the new year. I think he could still be Manchester United manager at the end of this season. Depends on how things go from now till the end of the season. But Solskjaer's been under pressure quite a few times since he got appointed in. And he's actually lucky that he's not been sacked, because a lot of managers would have been sacked after we got beat 6-1 to Tottenham. A lot of managers would have been sacked after we got knocked out of the Champions League. But because it's Solskjaer, he hasn't. And I did say, didn't I, that our board have softened their stance on him because he is a club legend. That does play a big part in it. Doesn't it? Now, you obviously know the news on the transfers and that. I've just recently given you the news, didn't I, on Renato Sanchez from Lille. Gazzetta dello Sport have said that Man United is set to challenge Liverpool for Renato Sanchez. There's been reports saying that Liverpool have an agreement to get Renato Sanchez, and it mentioned that a fee of around 18 million had been agreed. But there's some reports saying that Liverpool are even interested in Renato Sanchez. I think Lille would want around in the £20 million range to sell him. Lille got him in August 2019. They paid, was it around 25 million for him? He signed a 5-year contract. They got him from Bayern Munich, didn't they? Because he enjoyed a few years at Bayern Munich. He had a loan spell with Swansea, he was very inconsistent there. And when he was younger, obviously, I think he played for Benfica. He is only the age of 23, so he's still young. He is a midfielder and he's very versatile. So, would you take him at Man United? Like I've already said, Liverpool are seeing him as a replacement for Georginio Wijnaldum. Liverpool have got a few players on their agenda to replace Wijnaldum because Wijnaldum's contract is up next summer. You already know the news on Moises Caicedo, Dario Extra, which is an Ecuadorian outlet. They've said that negotiations are at an advanced stage for Caicedo, and reportedly it's a done deal to Manchester United. Independiente del Val have said that they want around 5.5 million, is it? With add-ons included, and they want a 20% sell-on clause. You know the news on Jack Grealish. I give you the news on Jack Grealish earlier on today. Aston Villa are expecting bids from Man United and Man City in January for Jack Grealish. Liverpool are now interested in Grealish. They're seeing him as a possible replacement for Salah, because reportedly now Salah is unhappy at Liverpool. Don't forget, we went in for Jack Grealish during the summer transfer window, but Villa said they wanted around £80 million, and their valuation put us off. And he's been banned from driving, by the way, for like 9 months. Back in September, Grealish signed a 5-year contract with Villa, didn't he? And up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Aston Villa. I think Villa now value him at around £100 million. We also didn't get him during the summer because we was concerned where he would fit in the team. You already know the news on David Alaba. You know the news on Jadon Sancho. But Ed Woodward has changed his transfer strategy, as you all know. We've already revealed our transfer plans. We're looking to strengthen up in 4 positions. So we're looking for the right winner. We're looking for the centre-half. We're looking for the holding midfielder. And we're also looking for a right-back. We could make around 3, 4, 5 signings next year. Ole Gunnar Solsjaer has the support of Ed Woodward, because Woodward's come out several times to support him, despite us having a poor start to the season and despite us getting knocked out of the Champions League. There's players we're going to get rid of next year. We are going to get rid of Lingard, Jones, Rojo, Romero. I think Pogba will leave next summer. Matic could leave the club. Juan Mata could also leave. There's obviously been a lot of rumours saying Williams could go out on loan. Earlier on this season, there was rumours of Dean Henderson going out on loan. And we're expecting Odion Ighalo to leave the club when his loan expires in January. Definitely, Manchester United are in the title race, because we are third in the Premier League with a game in hand. You know, as you all know, Roy Keane's recently said that Man United can challenge Liverpool for the Premier League title. I don't think we'll win it this season. I'm very sceptical of that. Obviously, I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't think we will. I think maybe next season we could, or the season after. Solskjaer said a few times this season Man United can win the league. But he said after our 6-2 win against Leeds, we can't talk about a title bid until like March. You know what I mean? Because there's quite a few teams now in this title race. But 21 is definitely coming for Manchester United at some point, if it isn't this season. We are the most successful team in Premier League history, because we have won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier League titles, but we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So we haven't won it now for around 8 years. But I think Man United can finish in the top 3 this season. Maybe the top 4, that's minimum. I think we can win a trophy as well. I think we can win the Carabao Cup, and I think we could possibly win the FA Cup. It's very important that Solskjaer gets his first trophy on the board as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy now for almost 4 years, and we know that's not nowhere near good enough to our standards. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season at the club. He's been in charge of Man United for just over 2 years now. Recently, it was his 2-year anniversary. He's managed over 100 games as Man United manager in all competitions, under contract with the club until 2022. I have been saying stuff like, Ollie isn't the right manager for Man United. I've been saying like he is out of his depth, because I still think he is out of his depth. But there's Man United fans now that are starting to change their perception on Ollie, and they're starting to believe he is the right manager for Manchester United. If we can continue in this good vein of form till, say, February, March, then my perception will change even more. Solskjaer's decision making does concern me, because in a lot of his games at Man United, he has got it wrong, and that's obviously cost us games. But there's been some games where he's got it right. Manchester United is the third club in Solskjaer's managerial career, but reflecting how long he has been at the club, he has gained that managerial experience, and he has learned quite a bit, let's be honest. Last season was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the club, and he got us qualification for the Champions League, he got us third place, and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. So you've got to credit him for what he did last season. He's made good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. We've seen a lot of players leave the club as well since he got recommended in. We've also enjoyed some very good periods under him. And we've had big wins as well. Big wins under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. We had the 6-2 win against Leeds recently. We had the 5-0 win against RB Leipzig in the Champions League at Old Trafford. We had the 5-0 win against Bruges? That was that last season, if I'm right. We had the 5-0 win against Lask. We had the 6-0 win against Tranmere. We had the 5-1 win against Cardiff. That was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game in charge of Man United. That's obviously when he was interim manager. We had, the 4-1 win against Newcastle. Probably other big results as well that I currently haven't mentioned. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority is leading the club to long-term success. And if things carry on the way they are, there's a possibility chance that we could extend Ollie's contract at the football club. He's more than halfway through now his 3-year deal. There is players that have impressed me at Manchester United. Like I've said, Marcus Rashford, he's been very, very impressive. He was actually unlucky not to score against Leeds. But Rashford, he's got that finishing asset. He gets good runs in behind. He scores goals. And I just think we need to keep Marcus Rashford out wide, because that's where he's more effective. We play him centrally sometimes though as well, but Rashford has been part of the club for several years. It recently said that in the new year we're going to offer him a 5-year contract with around £300,000 a week. I think Martial's been impressive recently, to his credit. Did well against Leeds, got 2 assists, won the penalty, had a couple of chances, so he was unlucky not to get his name on the score sheet. Martial was quite good against Sheffield, got his name on the score sheet. But for the vast majority of this season, Martial has been inconsistent, because he hasn't been clinical enough, has he? Martial was good last season, and he was good in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. Martial's enjoyed a good 5 years or so at the football club. We've played him out wide a few times, and a few times we played him centrally. Ollie was the one that gave him that number 9 shirt. Edison Cavani, he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. He's just come back from injury as Edison Cavani. He didn't start against Leeds, but he did come on. Don't forget he's been charged by the FA for misconduct for the racist comment he'd put on social media last month. He's got until the 4th of January to respond to these charges, and he said if he's found guilty, will probably face a 3-match ban. That's minimum. But yeah, I've been very impressed with Cavani since he's come in. Mason Greenwood, I've also been impressed with him recently. He didn't play any part against Leeds. Ole Gunnar Solsjaer has been defending Greenwood a lot this season. This is his second season in our senior squad. And at the start of this season, we give Mason Greenwood that number 11 shirt. Now, Bruno Fernandes, he's also been very good. He's been good since he's come in. In most of his games, he's been consistent. There's only been the odd couple of games where he's looked off the pace. Fernandes scored twice against Leeds, one from the penalty spot, and he also got an assist. I think he's created more chances than any other player in the Premier League this season. Fernandes has been at Man United now almost a year. Won Player of the Month for November. He's won that now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We paid £47 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in January. Donny van der Beek, he's also really impressed me. He's only made 2 starts though in the Premier League. Started against West Ham and he made his full Premier League debut against Southampton. I said to you, didn't I, Donny van der Beek is more effective in a deeper role, but he can play in like 3 different roles. We paid £40 million for him from Ajax. To Paul Pogba's credit, he's impressed me recently. Paul Pogba didn't play any part against Leeds, but he was good against Sheffield. His movement and that was good, and his link-up play at times was good, and he played a part in one of the goals. I think it was Martial's, was it? Paul Pogba played a part in. He was good against City the other week. He was good against RB Leipzig, made an impact, got his name on the score sheet, and he was good in the 3-1 win against West Ham. That was his first start in the Premier League for over a month against West Ham, Paul Pogba's. Since he's come back from the ankle injury, he's done well. Ollie did confirm that ankle injury was totally comparison to the one that he had last season, because Paul Pogba was out for the vast majority of last season. Like I said, Paul Pogba's probably leaving next summer. Pogba's agent, Minio Raiola, made an announcement the other week saying that Paul Pogba's unhappy at Man United and he has to leave. And he said he's got no intentions of signing a new contract and said his career at Man United is over. Then he made a fresh statement, Raiola, saying that it's unlikely Pogba will leave in January and he can leave next summer. Ollie was obviously furious with Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, of the time of the announcement. You know what I mean? You know, he's been heavily linked with a return to Juventus and swap deals have been high on the agenda. Real Madrid have been in for him, PSG, Barca and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Earlier on this season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, so he is under contract with Man United till June 2022. As far as I'm aware, there has been no talks over getting him a long-term contract at the club as yet. But I won't fully rule us out getting him a new long-term contract, because if he keeps performing the way he has done recently, then could happen. But I'm still expecting him to leave anyway. Fred, he's really impressed me recently. He showed good attacking intent. His defensive contribution's been good. Being at the club now a few years, we paid £47 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk. You know, Luke Shaw, He's impressed me recently, but obviously he's now out with injury again. So my only element of concern about Shaw is too injury prone. Alex Telles, I think he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Man United career. Harry Maguire, he's impressed me in games this season. Lindelof's impressed me recently. And Wan-Bissaka's also been very, very impressive. Even Juan Mata's impressed me in the games he's played in this season. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.